Hey everybody, Brad here. I just want to welcome you to our first Ice Age episode. We will be playing, the system is called GURPS. We will be playing 3rd edition, and the story will take place in a prehistoric Stone Age, Ice Age setting, you know, after dinosaurs, but before, like, civilization recorded history stuff. Also, I want to welcome Cole. Cole will be our guest for the GURPS Ice Age jump system setting. You know, he's a good friend of ours, and we're really happy to have him with us, and I hope you guys enjoy him. All right, with no further ado, let us emerge. All right, your vision returns, and you find yourself standing in a sparse forest. You had just heard a roar, but as your vision returns, you see a group of people surrounding a gigantic, looks like a deer or an elk or something, this huge monstrosity of an elk or deer, and the roar actually was a very large man standing in front of the deer with this big, it looks, he's holding like a stone-tipped spear.
Is it me?
No.
No. I was hoping for a manly roar.
So, yeah, apparently these individuals surrounding this gigantic elk are in the process of, you know, finishing it off, killing it off.
So it's not attacking back?
It may have at one point, but it's beyond that.
Okay.
So, yeah, as the giant elk just sort of slumps to its side as they're finishing it off, and, you know, a lot of the other people that are there are kind of raising up their spears and cheering, "Ah!" And you're standing near it. Grug, you're actually right up there with all the guys that just finished off this gigantic elk. Ovac, you're kind of standing back a little bit, and you see in your hands you're holding a bow. It's a very crude bow from what you're used to seeing in bows.
Gotcha.
And yeah, Grug, you're holding like a big, and you're not holding a spear, you're holding like a big club.
Is it bloody at all?
No.
Damn,
Are there
very good.
Are there arrows in? Was it me? Are they excited that I shot it from
You did
a distance?
It! There are arrows in the giant beast.
Yeah.
But most of the nasty wounds are from, you know, spear jabs and whatnot. So, all right. So you're just kind of standing there, and they immediately after it falls, they finish it off, slit its throat or whatever, and start taking it apart, like butchering it right on the spot.
Before anything, I want to take a second and try and make some awful check you're going to make me do to see if I can collect any kind of information of who we are and who I am and what's going on.
Okay.
Using Michael's advice from previous Mr. Mudio.
Right.
You know, I want to kind of, before even speaking or anything, I'm going to try and actually gather intel.
About yourself as
about
well
myself.
as the situation
yeah,
and everything.
as far as like,
okay.
So I can better play the role.
So we have GURPS. So go ahead and roll 3d6.
Oh yeah, GURPS is a 3d6 system, and I'm going to... 11. Okay. Basically, you piece together, just kind of like let it soak in for a second. Both actually, Ovac and Grug. He didn't roll. Make him roll.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Okay.
He doesn't just get to jump in on my 11.
No, I don't.
What'd you get?
I got a 15.
Yeah, see, he doesn't know shit.
Well, you both basically piece together.
Yeah.
This is some sort of primitive society, very, very, technologically behind everything that you've seen. Even your, Ovac and Grug in the fantasy Dungeons and Dragons world, you're even before that. Basically, for Nate and Greg, cavemen-looking guys.
Right.
They're wearing hides and
very primitive. Do they have any like
spears.
metal?
No.
Okay.
No metal whatsoever.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and
but guns. They got guns, right?
Yeah, they got machine guns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shoot stones.
Kevlar vests.
Gotcha. Okay.
But stone-tip spears.
Gotcha.
Right, and so yeah, they look, rough and rugged cavemen type guys that are butchering this giant elk. And one of them is obviously in charge. He's kind of given directions, but they when you're listening to them speak, they sound primitive also. Very Grug-like, actually.
Yay. Grug-like.
Short sentences, small words. But just kind of in the first few moments of just listening, you find out that the guy in charge, his name is Ruck.
Somebody write that down.
Yep.
Ruck. I'm going to put it with just a K.
R-U-K.
That's what I did.
That's what it is.
Well, that's how I spelled it.
All right. So, yeah, and he's like kind of, people are, they're just carrying the meat. After they, like, cut slabs of meat off of this giant elk, they're just, like, slapping it over their shoulders. And
I'm going to help, but I'm going to think to myself, this is a new thing I'm going to try. I'm going to roll to see if I can do this. That's good enough for me. I was setting a really high bar anyways. I'm going to think to myself, Grug help, but I'm not going to say Grug help.
Okay.
See, because evolution and stuff.
Yeah, you're getting better at this whole...
Yeah. So I'm going to grab a slab of meat and just follow the line.
All right. So, yeah.
Wherever it goes.
And
it goes off a pit.
They start walking. They're all walking off in the same direction, so you just follow them off.
I'm feeling strong, right?
Yeah.
Like I could...
Yeah, you still have, and actually, yeah, Ovac, you too. You feel pretty beefy.
I'm gonna pick Ovac up then. No, I'm just gonna carry the slab of meat.
Now, like, I'm gonna kind of concentrate and try and feel what this body, like, what role he played. Like, do I have that knowledge?
Yeah, I mean, like when you when you came to and got your senses, you were holding that bow.
Yeah.
And so and just giving some more thought into it. You're like a scout or archer, and you tracking skills and things like that. You're like, I'm a hunter. I'm a tracker and hunter.
And am I getting the sense that like everyone helps in this?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So then like I would go over and start to...
You're part of a tribe or a clan or a group of people. Small group of people.
We're trying to blend, huh? Isn't this cool?
Yeah.
Isn't it cool how we're like figuring it out and stuff?
So yeah, I mean, you can kind of you put all that together. Both of you do. Ovac probably a little faster and more thorough, but right, you get the feel that this is definitely either maybe a part of a civilization or small group of people that subsist off of the land, working together. Everybody's involved. Nothing is wasted. That philosophy kind of thing. All right. So, you see Grug just kind of get in line with these people and start walking off with them, carrying meat. And there's still more people. There's probably about a dozen people altogether. But they're all men. All like hunter men guys.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to help. I'm going to get some meat and kind of follow along. But like, as I get around so many people, I kind of get like this sharp... it's not like a pain, but like it's just like a mental ping that I'm like very uncomfortable around this many people.
Okay. Yeah, your character actually...
You're clenching your butt cheeks.
Right. Just to kind of to relate that to the listeners, your character actually has the loner disadvantage. And how that would manifest itself, because Ovac is not a loner, how that manifests itself is you're going to probably, use words that they wouldn't know, that these primitive people would know, and it's going to come across as awkward. You're not going to handle yourself acting dumb, basically, and so people are going to give you second looks and stuff, when you use words that.
So yeah, knowing that, I'm going to try and limit my talking just because I know that like I have that awkwardness, and they're gonna. I don't want them to catch on.
Right. Okay.
Listeners are going to find this hard to believe, but I have the gullible trait.
Yeah. Which, just manifests
Which
itself
is just Grug in general, but it has a stat in this game,
Yep.
So there we go.
Okay, so you guys slab meats over the shoulder, and as you're walking by the guy that was in charge kind of thing, of the whole group, apparently, one of the others, says... This is good. This is good haul today, Chief. And Chief Ruck kind of goes, yes. Carry meat back to cave or back to village. And Grug hears it and he's like, yay,
yeah,
my people. So yeah, you guys kind of get that taken care of and head back to the village. When you are approaching, the forest kind of stops, it dwindles down to where there's, very, very sparse trees. There's a large hill, okay? And it's not a cave entrance. It's more like they dug from the top of the hill into the ground. So it's basically open air exposed rooms that they just dug into this hill. But over the top of it, they've laid thatches and, branches, twigs, leaves, stuff like that to cover the top of this open air hill that they've dug into.
Gotcha.
Got
So
me?
the streets of this quote-unquote city or village is in the hill itself?
Yes.
Okay.
And
I'm with
it's not that big, it's probably
It's an anthill.
It's probably, the size of
anthill.
The human-sized anthill.
the size of a football field.
Yeah, okay.
The whole hill.
But it's
itself.
all interconnected. Like, how many entrances into the hill?
Well, you only see one. You're kind of coming
Okay.
up to it, and you see
and
the
then
one.
the streets and everything are within the...
Right. It's more like hallways.
Yeah.
With the hill.
Right.
The hill is the walls,
Okay.
but and the roof is just muddy
So
twigs and
anybody
sticks.
can make a bigger room. They just start digging.
There you go. Until you run out of hill.
This is a master suite now with a view. Just break out the side.
Okay, so anyway, and as you're approaching, you see several women and older men kind of coming out to congratulate the successful hunt, and
Right.
there's going to be a feast and a party, apparently.
Apparently.
And what draws your attention more than anything else is one of the older men has a younger man with him, and they have. You also notice that most of the people, all of the men and some of the women, have like facial tattoos, body tattoos, art. It's pretty simple, 1-2 colors on their face and their shoulders and their chests.
Chinese words.
But
Beg your pardon.
Hope.
Some of my work.
But this older man and the younger man with him are, way more covered in tattoos. And the older gentleman has a large staff with like some small animal skull on the top and several bones hanging down from it. And right, kind of like Rafiki from Lion King. But
He's a small lion next
but
to
the,
him.
yeah, the younger man with him is basically the exact same on a lesser extent of everything. He's still got more tattoos than everybody else, but less than the older guy.
Gotcha.
He has the staff with the bones, but it's smaller and there's less bones on it. That kind of stuff. Okay.
It's a chipmunk squirrel or a chipmunk skull.
Yeah. It's got a little mouse head on it.
Yeah.
Squeak.
He's like, rawr.
But right, and as everybody's approaching, they're kind of standing by the entrance to the hill village, and they're basically watching what's going on. And you see the older man kind of gesture to the younger man, and he starts walking to you, not to you, but to the group of men approaching and carrying the meat. So yeah, the younger, I'm just gonna say shaman because they're
Just 'cause.
shamanistic,
There's no reason.
right?
Yeah.
Just
Kind of walks up to the first man in line and he starts, like saying something like blessing or what?
Yeah.
I don't know. What does he say? Cole?
What do you say, Cole?
oh well. I'm gonna talk to Grug first. He comes right at me, or I come right at him,
Okay.
and I'm gonna ask him how the hunt went, or I guess, how did hunt go?
Ooh. Classy.
Uh-huh.
Do I know my name by now?
Right. You would Cole. Your character's name is Akhtar,
Right.
and you would call him by his
Name.
his Homo sapien name,
Right.
of Koog,
Koog.
right? And then
Okay.
Ovak,
So I do know them.
correct.
Okay,
Yeah. To
okay.
them, to you, they look the same, they sound the same, and everything. It's just their mannerisms and what they say may seem a little out of place.
Roger. Okay.
So, but yeah, Greg is playing Koog, and Nate's Ovak character is playing Nulk.
Yep.
So write that down, people.
Yeah.
Koog and Nulk. All right.
Well, because I was going to say, would they speak in third person?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Because, you're not cavemen. I kind of,
Right.
I slipped.
You
and
said we were
cavemen.
cavemen. I got it on recording.
I know. This is taking place roughly to kind of equate it in your brain to Earth's history is about 40,000 BC. So I mean, there was already art and music and language. That was all there. I mean, it wasn't like
Right.
ooga booga, chaka chaka booga booga. It was. They spoke. They made long journeys. They built sailing ships and did stuff like that. They just didn't have didn't have the wheel, so
Or steel.
or any sort of like smelting of metal. But anyway, go
Yeah.
ahead. Sorry.
So I'll respond, Coog, say hunt went good.
You kill a large animal.
Coog say no. No blood on club.
Who kill large animal?
Coog say chief and point at who he thinks is the chief at this point.
Right.
It's probably not, but
So, upon hearing this, I'm going to kind of dismiss it at first. Obviously, making a mental note that Coog does not sound quite as he once
as Coog
did. Yes, as Coogie, as I remember. And then I do make a mental note that Nolk is walking rather close to some of the other tribesmen, or maybe even to Coog at this point. But then I'm going to kind of just say, like, all right, well, gather around. The elder has sent me to bless the meat. And then I'm going to say a prayer
oh yeah, here we go.
over this meat.
All right. So you have a skill called Rituals and Ceremonies. I want you to make that skill check.
Speech.
And the older shaman, your boss,
Right.
He's watching intently. He's watching you intently because you're sort of the shaman in training
Right.
of the tribe. So he's watching to see how you do.
So yeah, don't mess it up.
I do well. 9.
And your skill is
11.
So yeah, you do well. So you perform the blessing in the ritual. You give thanks to the animal.
I want to hear this speech.
I shake the stick a bit.
I want to hear it. Cole, give us a little taste. Just like the midsection.
A taste of the speech.
Yeah.
Blessing
Yeah.
of this elkin
Yeah.
creature.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it an elk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Make sure to thank the colors
let
of
him
the
go.
wind.
Let him go. I want to hear this.
I don't know if I can come up with a speech for an elk. Nope, can't do it. No, I can't.
Well, the dramatic pause was good.
So after the
I was close.
after the successful speech,
Okay.
which is so successful we can't say it.
You
because,
can't even
yeah,
hear it. Yeah,
because,
it's just.
Your ears would bleed.
Yeah.
right.
We would want to go hunt elk right now.
Correct.
That's how good of a
yeah.
speech it is.
Absolutely. So
It was
the the men start pairing up with their wives or mates or whatever, and divvying up the meat. The chief, Chief Ruck, he kind of comes down and he says, he finishes off your speech. That's your job, is to bless it, and then he kind of says some more, and he basically declares that there's going to be a feast tonight because the hunt was so successful, to honor the animal as well as divvy up all of the meat.
Do any of the woman folk approach me as if I have a wife?
That is a great question. That is not.
So excited.
I want you guys to make a health roll, not except for you. You're single, Cole. Sorry.
Dang it.
You're
I'm
saving
single.
yourself
Well, I've
Would I-
committed myself to medicine.
for
so
Jesus or whatever they use.
Would I?
Greg has got 2 wives.
Never mind.
Yeah. Roll
Okay.
the 6. No, it's Nate. It's
Wow.
That's not
8.
that bad.
All right. So yeah, actually, Coog, a woman does approach you, and she's a rather hairy, big-breasted woman, and she kind of comes up.
women. No, I like women.
Well, she's big enough for 2.
okay.
But she's obviously, you're a good hunter because she's well fed.
Okay.
But she comes up and, Coog, so happy to see you.
I'm gonna search my brain for a name, real quick. Like,
All right, make an IQ roll. See if you can pull it out.
my IQ is 9
Oh, roll
on
it-
3d6.
Roll a 9 or less.
13.
13. No, you can't get it yet.
All right.
But you know,
Coog, babe.
you know that it will happen in time.
Right.
As time goes on, things.
Coog, happy too. And I'm gonna hug her.
All right. Yeah, she's pretty strong. You're not used to. Yeah.
My back. It's cracking.
So yeah, and then she takes you in, and you guys prepare the meat. The little location, everything.
His meat?
Yeah, she prepares your meat.
Yeah, she's good at it too.
And then you see, several of the children, and Coog, one of the children comes up to you and hugs your leg.
Boy, remember your kid's name?
I'm
And
gonna go ahead and pat
your
him on the back.
Your mate, girlfriend, wife, whatever she is, she says, "Chaka, so glad to see you back safe, Coog."
Chuck,
Like Chuck, throw something, Chuck, with an A on the end.
chocolate, but Chaka.
Chaka? No, that's the guy from Land of the Lost.
It's like Haka. with a C.
Chukka.
Hakalugi.
Chukka.
You just call him Chuck.
Chuck.
Little baby C.
Last name Norris or?
Chukka Norrisa.
All right. Anyways,
All right. So obviously you have a child.
boy, girl,
Boy,
age.
probably about 6.
Ugh, guys.
Halfway through his life.
Yeah. He's at his peak right now.
Well, just as a side note, the average life expectancy of a Homo sapien, 40,000 BC, was approximately 30 years old.
Wait, how old am I?
You're probably 20. So yeah, you know,
Okay.
most of the men hunters are between the ages of like 14 and 22 to 25.
Right.
And then the elders are anybody over 25.
All right, so I'm going to pat him on the back. Coog Miss Chukka 2.
Okay, so you guys kind of get established and kind of everybody settles in, and you're the complex itself is several rooms. They're arranged at, like, when you go in the main entrance, there's a sort of a common room, and then there's, you know, hallways going off, 3 exit hallways going off, all covered by this, you know,
Hill.
well, the roof is, you know, sticks
thatch.
and logs and
Oh, okay.
So there
twigs
is
and
some
leaves.
sun coming through.
Very little, very little. But in the so there's, imagine basically there's a circle of rooms, okay? And in the middle of that circle of rooms is another room that is open to its top is open. It's not covered
Like
by
a
twigs.
teepee.
It's completely open. And
Right? The teepees are all open at the top, aren't they?
not really very much, a little bit. This is like a whole big room, like a big, you know,
Okay.
house-sized room
Nothing like a teepee.
Okay.
that all the other rooms in a circle around it
I'll shush now.
connect to, and it's open air.
It's the like protected common area where like the rooms kind of protect around it, where it's open air, so they can have fires and stuff.
Correct.
Yeah, does it seem like a
Big-
ceremonial
big-
place
yes,
or
co-
something?
correct.
Yes.
In the big central room, which is open, it's not covered up by twigs and sticks and logs. It's
Well,
got
this village is evil. We could just cover up the whole.
There's
Smoke 'em out.
a big fire pit in the middle. You do notice that there is a sort of a very weak stream that runs through the whole complex, kind of coming from the middle back room, through the open air room, through the main entrance room, and then out the front.
Brad has drawn a picture, and we will upload it to Facebook. We promise.
Oh, good lord! I'll have to redraw this picture.
Nope, it's a good picture.
It looks great.
It's perfect.
from this angle.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, you know, going around, you notice that sort of further back in the further back in rooms in the circle. One of them is like a meat storage where there's hanging meat drying, and fish and meat just hanging on these wooden racks. Another room is like a pool. Apparently they dug into a spring, a water spring that's filling up, and that's where the stream actually comes from. And that's the room that's in the far middle back. And then the other far back room of the circle of rooms is apparently Chief Ruck's room, or Chief Ruck's room, because it's separate from the common rooms, which is where everybody else just sort of lives and stuff. Okay? So that's a rough layout of the place.
Right.
And so everybody just kind of goes into their areas of their rooms, which are all shared, except for the chief, and starts talking. And Chukka, your son,
I wrote kid on my sheet. Kid. I should write son.
you know, he's like, you know, Father, was the hunt good?
It was, young son.
Were there dangers?
There were, young,
Young
son.
You can call him Chukka.
I can, yeah. But Greg doesn't have a kid. It's weird.
All right, and he's like, what are we going to do at the celebration tonight?
Coog think there will be big meal and pretty ladies. Hopefully.
Okay,
But none as pretty as your mother,
and it just comes to you. Her name is Udi.
Udi. I'm gonna go with. There's no real spelling in this. So.
Yeah, they don't have a written language.
Yeah.
So,
That's correct. Everything I write down is correct.
all right. So,
But none as pretty as your mother, Udi.
So Nulk, nobody is even speaking to you.
Yay!
People are making eye contact with you and stuff, and it's not like they're scared of you, but it's almost like they're just ignoring you.
Perfect.
They'll just sort of walking by you. They'll look at you for a second, but if you make eye contact, they quickly just sort of look away and go about their business.
Avert their eyes from my beauty, kind of a thing.
Yes, your
Yeah.
magnificentness.
Yeah.
Flowing golden hair. No. What? So you're sort of flying solo, just kind of seeing what other people are doing and doing your best to impersonate what they're doing, kind of thing.
Okay. While obviously I'm kind of getting the sense that I don't like anyone. Like I'm here, but they don't.
You don't belong.
Yeah. Essentially,
Outsider.
I spend most of my time out scouting and all of that, so that no one's really gotten to know me. So I'm just gonna kind of continue to do that, but I'm gonna be looking for any signs of Loth.
Yeah, signs of the evil. Why
Yeah,
you're
right,
here. All right, yeah. So you don't see any kind of spider stuff, no black misty cloud stuff, nothing unusual. It looks like a really primitive tribal group of people.
Okay.
And you actually do see Coog, and he's over there talking to a little boy and a woman. The woman's actually, in Dwarven terms, pretty,
She's got a nice beard.
Jeez.
Yeah. She's a rather, sturdy woman. But yeah, you see Coog over there, and he's acting awkward, kind of. You and Coog, you see Ovac.
Right.
You kind of shoot him a look of, what are we doing? What's going
Yeah,
on? I have
yeah.
a wife and kid.
Yeah.
So,
Grug virgin. Grug know how to do things like in book.
so Nulk, you should probably go over.
Save me.
Fine. I'm gonna approach Grug
Okay.
and just kind of. I'm gonna offer some fresh meat to him, kind of a thing.
Okay.
Try to not make it look too awkward that we don't since I'm a loner, I don't really talk to anyone. I'm just trying to be friends with him.
Ah, yes. Coog getting a visitor from Two Rock. Because I don't know his name, so I'm gonna make a name up on the spot.
Okay. So yeah, as Nulk approaches Coog, Udi kind of takes Chaka and says, "Come, Chaka, we must prepare for the feast tonight." And she's kind of shooting a glance at Coog and then at Nulk as she takes Chaka away.
And I'm just staring directly at her the entire time.
Okay.
Not blinking.
Get out of here.
All right. So there you go. You guys can chat it up now.
Yay. Oh, is there nobody else around?
Right. Yeah. Udi took. Well, there's people around, but they're
Far enough away.
They're in their own conversations and stuff, so they're not listening in.
Grug, say hello, Ovac.
I feel like we should not do that.
Grug always talk like this, so Grug feels safe.
Who are you?
You got to do it in your Ovac voice, though. Slow and simple. Vrhusk.
Well, you guys are talking to each other, so you use.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying.
He's trying to stay
not,
incognito.
Not even though everyone's busy, I don't want anyone even getting a little glimpse of our conversation.
Yeah, gotcha.
To where
So, add the Vrhusk to it. The struggle is real tonight.
it is, because I haven't done Ovac for a minute. We should remain quiet.
Grug, very confused. Grug think he see no evil.
We need. Jesus, it's so hard. We need incognito.
Grug doesn't know what incognito means in this body or other body. But Grug, yeah. Grug think it's like hide and seek.
Yes, that is right. We need blend in.
Grug wonder what next.
Okay, so as you guys are having that conversation, Akhtar you just saw Nulk take some of his meat and bring it over and give it to Coog, which
doesn't happen.
Right. That's really weird.
Right.
It's
I was going to ask
really
if I
weird.
had been watching or sort of observing from afar.
Right, because of your
This whole time, right.
your curiosity with Coog, and then you were kind of watching him interact with his family.
Yeah.
And
I was going to ask if I had been watching.
That seemed a little weird.
Right.
And then you see Nulk go over and give him some meat. Oh, and now that's sort of like, okay, wait a minute.
Right. And in this type of time period, even that for a friend would be weird.
Right, because the Chief Ruck, divided the meat up as evenly, by how big your family is, how much you participated in the hunt, all that stuff.
Nice job, Nate.
Right.
So I got everything.
He did all that, and then you see basically Nulk not necessarily breaking the rules, but acting very strangely. So
I am going to walk over.
Break up. I'm going to go in the house and close the door.
They have doors?
They don't
There's
have
no
doors.
doors.
There's no- yeah,
I'm
just-
going to go hide in my dirt hole.
Pick up a rock and put it in front of your face.
Yeah.
This is not me.
Just gonna run outside and dive into a bush.
Thorn
Are
bush.
there bushes in the mountain?
Well, you're not in the
I'm-
mountains. You're in the plains. I would
Yeah.
say you're, for the most part, very sparse forest. Very sparse. Very small hills. This is like the biggest hill for hundreds of miles. I would say the terrain you're in is plains.
It's pretty plain plains.
It's very few bushes then.
But there,
You would say.
there is,
There's that one, though.
a few miles to the east, there's a lake, and then even a few dozen miles to the other direction, opposite direction, there's some small mountains and stuff. But where you are is very plainsy.
Roger.
All right, anyway, so you're going to approach.
I'm going to approach. And at first, am I going to hear any of the speech their dialogue they just had?
No, because
Okay.
Notice him.
Grug, Ovac, Coog, Nulk, you guys notice that the younger shaman guy is walking over to you, so you stop talking real quick.
He's got his chipmunk staff. Watch out.
Hey, you watch it.
Respect the staff.
Do I have an affinity for one over the other? Whether
Oh yeah, you like
Coog or
Coog. You like
Coog?
you
Okay.
like Coog.
Okay.
Everybody tends to like Coog.
Coog. Okay.
Because he's
Kind of the popular guy.
he's a great physical warrior.
Okay.
He's not a great hunter tracker. He's okay,
Right.
pretty average, but nobody messes with him because he's really mean. He's got he wrestled a bear one time and it took his eye. He's missing an eye.
Roger.
Big scar across his face.
You can find that on
missing an eye.
Podbean and Facebook. Carry on.
Yeah, because he had actually wrestled a bear that was threatening to hurt or kill other members of the tribe. So
Right. And I feel as though in this time period, intelligence is kind of more confusing, whereas strength is viewed as
Right.
strength
the
is
actual.
right. Strength is the the temporary badassness, but in long term intelligence is the leaders.
Right. They just don't know it yet. So I'm gonna kind of ignore Nulk shooting him a quizzical glance, as to say and I'm gonna go up to Coog and say, "Why Nulk here?"
Coog think he don't know.
Does Nulk give meat?
Coog say yes. Very strange.
And then I'm gonna look over at Nulk and say, "Did you bring meat, Nulk?
Yes.
For Coog?
Yes.
Why have you done this?"
Had too much.
I love it. All right, so as that
Of course he does.
as the awkwardness in game and out of game occurs.
What did you say?
Yeah, I
said he had too much,
is that what-
which I
okay.
feel in this kind of culture is not really a thing.
Right.
So I'm even more confused.
Well, I mean, I did kill the elk, so the chief gave me the most. So
It had
No,
arrows in
yeah,
it.
it had arrows.
there were arrows, multiple. So
I believe it was told there was multiple spear wounds.
as
leading
as
to the
multiple
demi-
arrows. So I mean, how do you?
You don't know any of that. You just saw the meat.
That's true.
You
That's
should.
true.
Okay, so as the awkwardness is going, a commotion arises from the middle area, the open area of all the the rooms, the open room in the middle, And that's sort of the signal, Akhtar, you know this right away, but that's sort of the signal that the festivities are going to begin. And that's going to be the cooking of the meat and the dancing, the reenacting of the hunt, that kind of stuff. So that kind of just detracts from your confrontation currently, because it's time you are required to be there,
Right.
as the
Shaman
in training. So, and you know this, so you kind of quickly break your gaze away and go to the middle room there. All right, Nulk and Coog.
What does the commotion sound like?
It sounds like there's a drum beating and there's some people
So
like
it sounds like a
hooting.
celebration.
Yes.
Okay. It's not like I would want to run in and protect.
No.
Okay.
It sounds like a party is starting up.
I'm gonna go in and get my wife and child, which is strange to say, and I'm gonna attempt to just stay with them
Okay.
and kind of just blend in, for
All right.
lack of a better term.
Yeah, after this interaction with Akhtar, I'm going to keep my distance because obviously I'm thinking everyone's watching at this point. So
Okay.
I'm just going to try and be a wallflower.
To reduce suspicion, you're going to act like you think they're supposed to act.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you kind of go into the Nulk, you go into the center room, but you're kind of off leaning up against the wall.
Creeper in the corner.
Yeah.
In the corner of a circular room. But yeah, everybody's dancing and stuff, and
They didn't know what circles were.
They did.
It's roughly circular. There's corners.
They had to leave them horizontal. They couldn't turn them up vertically.
Oh, gotcha.
And then roll. So anyway, Coog, you're there, and there's people dancing, and they're chanting, singing some sort of chant song.
I'm gonna join in as best I can.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah, what is that? What does that song sound like?
You're jumping into the line dance, and
Awkward.
you don't know the line dance, so you're watching
Yeah.
everybody
a
else.
couple
kind of
seconds
thing.
behind
Yeah,
each.
right.
Like heel toe.
The tribe,
Heel,
the
toe,
tribe, killed the elk. Kind of like that. Ooga booga, ooga booga.
All right. So anyway, everybody make a health roll. Everybody.
8.
10.
Damn.
All right.
am
So everybody succeeded.
hot tonight.
So yeah, there's meats cooked and dancing, singing, and everybody stays up late and has a great time. And then basically, most people just sort of fall asleep and pass out in that big middle open room.
Okay.
With the fire still burning, and the chief is the last one, kind of up and going as everybody's starting to retire for the evening.
And the shaman, he should be sober.
Well, the older shaman, he retired early. He made sure the celebration went on
okay.
good, and then he went off and he went to sleep.
I want to make you sober and
Well, there's no
virgin.
there's no booze.
Yes, how exactly are we not being so?
The blood of the elk.
yeah.
It's been fermenting
They don't
from
have any
previous
kind of-
kills.
I guess that wasn't until
according to history, the first recorded brewing of beer, which was
Right.
the first alcohol, was by the Egyptians. But they may have, but we don't have any.
they don't ship it this way.
Albeit,
No, this is
This isn't like a semi truck going by.
this
It's
is
got like Egyptian beer on the side
this is
of it.
Camel.
roughly 35,000 years before the Egyptians.
now, if there is somebody that knows how to get a little tipsy via herbal
It would be
remedies, it's gonna be
That's
me.
true.
So you're the only one having fun.
I have a hard time believing that I don't know some kind of leaf
Okay.
to
Some leaf.
light on fire and
Well, yeah, actually, as an herbalist and shaman, most you don't have magic. You have
right nature.
a form of natural alchemy, I guess, where you can like crush leaves
your
and
sweet ass.
make drinks and stuff. And you do have knowledge of pain relievers. This eases pain and stuff, but nothing to the extent of like modern medicines or
Right.
anything like that. But
No cocaine or
I've got a
anything.
couple
Yeah.
capsules. I'm over there just crushing and
Make-
filling.
make- he's got a little meth lab in one of the circular rooms is his meth lab.
Just have a mortar and pestle and you're grinding it.
All right. Anyways,
So right, and the chief is still up, and Udi is like Coog, doing that. You know what I mean?
right.
Hey, big boy.
Because Chaka already is asleep. He's in his room sleeping, in the
looks-
common room.
You
Looks
know
like
what it's
because-
Shaka 2's
Yeah.
coming.
Because you guys don't have individual rooms. The big rooms in the big circular rooms placement. Each room has about about 5 family, 5 man-wife couples. Some of them have no kids. Some of them have like 4 kids.
I'm gonna do my best to blend in and go.
It's a party every night.
Well, we've been over. Like, I'm trying to think back to like original in the very beginning in D&D. Like Grug went upstairs with a couple of waitresses. I'm like, he's not an actual virgin. It's awkward
in a room with like other people.
With other people.
Some people are sleeping. Some people are actually doing it right there.
And she's probably just as hairy as I am.
I mean, you did fight a bear. Was it your wife?
What is the legend?
She's got experience.
She's got your eye as a trophy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with her and blend in
and do that. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you're doing
30 seconds. Won't. And what
you're
taking on?
You're doing that. Okay, and Nulk, you notice the chief is there, and as everybody's retiring, and some of them are just sleeping in the main room, some of them are going off to their rooms. You notice Coog, Udi comes and grabs his hand and takes him.
Okay.
To their room.
Oh, that's not my hand.
You have a 5-headed.
Don't. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. But yeah, as everybody's doing that, you notice that Chief Ruck kind of sees it, and he turns and he actually walks out the front door like he's going outside of the complex.
Gotcha. It's not. I'm gonna kind of stealth my way out because I feel like I'm not friends with him.
You have stealth skill.
Ooh. All right, I'm gonna.
Yours is what, 11?
13.
Wow.
Dang.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good.
It doesn't matter.
Sneaky as all hell. Oh, you got 13. Look at that.
It does matter.
Look at that.
All right, so you sneak behind him. Weapons are not out or anything.
Yeah,
You're just trying to go without being noticed. Sneak.
Yeah.
And you follow him out. Aktar,
How?
go ahead and make
Ever?
a stealth roll as well.
That's an 8.
Okay, so you see Nulk sneaking out after the chief.
So you do it,
which
but not well.
which doesn't really, that's not really weird normally, but because of everything else that's been going on,
Right. Yeah, I've been paying special attention to the old.
Nulk normally just
I was
sneaks
gonna ask
after
myself, but
the chief.
Well, no, I mean, like he's not worried that you're going to go kill the chief or something.
Oh, okay.
You're just kind of a sneaky on your own fella.
But it's
Right.
it's not weird that I'm doing that.
I don't think it's obvious that you're hiding behind him. And
It's weird enough to draw attention,
Great.
but not so weird as like, hey, look, there he is, get him, kind of.
Nulk's up to his normal stuff over there.
He's not trying to, Aktar doesn't want to run over there and stop you, but he would probably be curious as to
what?
Yeah,
what I'm
He's
doing.
already suspicious.
Yeah.
especially
Okay.
since you're sharing meat.
Okay, so you follow.
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
sneakily follow.
yes.
Nulk. All right,
Well,
so
I'm gonna
train of
follow.
sneakiness.
I want to follow
you're,
him then.
You're
I'm done by now.
you're neck deep in business right now.
Nah.
It's a whole
I think
lot
we're
of
moving to PG-13.
whole lot of fun going on in that room.
Alrighty.
All right, so the chief goes out and he kind of goes down the hill a little bit, and he's kind of standing there. He's looking around as if looking for something or listening for something. He's doing.
Okay. As soon as I leave, I'm gonna kind of go left out the door and just kind of put some distance between me and him. But I'm still watching him because, like, how's the night? I guess is it a full moon?
It's like half moon, clear, but it's a clear, starry night.
Okay, so I'm more focusing on using my ears to kind of listen to things that are going on rather than sight. So I want to keep my distance just because I don't want to see me.
Get in a good hiding spot where you can still see him.
That one bush
And
you know
hear it.
about.
Yeah.
So I want you to make a perception check, which is actually just a standard IQ. It is hearing first, which you don't have a bonus. Because you actually have acute vision. You get a bonus to try and see.
Oh, yeah, I do.
So why wouldn't you want him in your sight then?
Well, I'm far enough away that
It's dark enough, yeah.
I still get a bonus. But anyways, hearing first.
Yeah, so make an IQ roll to see if you hear.
11.
And your IQ is?
10.
So you do not. So yeah, you kind of get in your good spot. And you're looking at him, and you're seeing him. He's not bending over and touching the ground, or he doesn't have his weapons out. He's just as if he's smelling or listening or looking for something.
Okay.
Okay. And it goes on for a little while. And you don't hear. You're also looking at him, but also listening and looking for perhaps seeing what he's trying to see. Akhtar, you go outside. You actually have to make an IQ roll, and for Nulk's stealth, what did you roll? A 13 exactly, and you needed a 13, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, you just need a straight up IQ roll.
Roger.
Also needing a 13.
Yes. 11.
Okay. So you go outside, and you look around, because you see the chief. He's not hiding or anything. He just went straight down the hill. He's probably about 50 feet away from the entrance to the village hill. And he's standing there. His back is to you, and he's kind of looking around. And you kind of look around also yourself right at the entrance there, and you kind of look over, and you see hiding Nulk.
And it's
Nulk,
visible that he's hiding.
It's visible that he's hiding.
Okay.
And Nulk, at the same time he sees you, you see him. Because you're like listening at the chief area, and then you feel eyes on you kind of thing, that feeling.
Yeah.
And you turn and you see standing at the entrance to the village hill is Akhtar. And he's looking straight at you.
I'm just going to look at him.
You guys have the special awkward moments that happen all the
Do I feel as though it's a custom for the chief to kind of leave?
The chief can
at
do whatever
this-
he wants, in your
Okay,
opinion.
Right. So I've got no suspicions about him
Right.
leaving.
Correct.
This is not entirely weird. It's just this guy in a bush that's weird.
It's been acting weird.
Right.
That's more weird.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna kind of slowly approach, not like a fast run, but I'm gonna put not ever breaking eye
A
contact.
casual stroll
Yeah.
straight at Nulk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to try not to blink, too, so it's like
Yeah.
awkward eye contact.
There may be a tear coming down, but I'm not gonna blink. I'm not gonna
Right.
give in.
So we got ourselves a staring contest.
Yeah. Okay, so Nulk is about 30 feet from you, because he went off, a good distance, 30 feet, which is pretty far from the entrance to the village hill, and he was hiding in a bush behind a rock. And as you're walking to him, you get about, I guess you're probably about 10 feet from him, so about the time you're going to stop and say something if you were going to say something. But right before you do, you hear drums starting to sound, and you hear distant, but not too far distant, voices of people coming from away from the hill, and they're like yip, like and they're not your people.
And I have no idea. I have no recognition of what this may be.
Correct.
I've never heard this before.
Correct. You know that there are other tribes,
Right.
but this is your tribe's land, and there has never been any problems before.
Okay. Is there any immediate cover near me?
Well, there's a rock 10 feet from you, big enough, a rock in a bush that Nulk's hiding behind.
This my spot.
I'm seeing as there's no other cover and being partly confused by this new sound, and I would assume like maybe more quizzical than frightened, but still, because you said there was sort of there's no other tribes that have been on our land before,
Right,
or close to us.
The way it's set up is, any other tribes that you have contact with are miles away, and they have several square miles as their hunting ground, and these several square miles as your hunting ground, and the lines just are respectively not crossed.
Right. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump behind that same rock.
Okay.
Kind of having for now at least, my attention diverted
Okay.
to a more pressing issue.
Now, do I know these sounds at all?
It sounds to you. It sounds like a goblin war party. Like some drums started beating doom 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 doom, and then shortly thereafter you hear like high pitched, war yips and yaps, and like
Lord of the Rings style.
So I'm going to... do I have all of my equipment with me?
no. You have a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have your knife with you, but
Okay.
your bow and stuff and spear are all inside.
Okay. So then I'm gonna pull out my knife
Okay.
and
And attack Akhtar.
attack
And
lateral.
then start making yip noises. Yip, 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 yip.
No, I'm just gonna pull out my knife and I'm gonna watch the chief, I guess. I'm confused.
Okay, so you pull your knife, but you're watching the chief. You don't mind Akhtar sitting next to you, hiding also.
Not at this moment. Like, I'm more focused on protecting the chief at this point, so
Okay.
that's where my mind's going.
All right, so let me tell you what the chief does. The chief immediately starts. Now he's got sort of that quick, panicky eyes and head shooting back and forth, scanning from where the noise is coming from, looking for something. As he does that, he also pulls out. He's actually got like a hand axe, like a stone axe head on a stick, axe head kind of thing, like a hatchet.
Like a stone axe.
I guess, yeah, but I don't want to say stone axe because then your mental image is like a dwarven stone, axe. But it's crude. Like everything is this tech level 0 stuff, man.
Right.
It's very crude. But he's got like his he pulls his axe out, and you also notice he has a large knife by his side too that he could wield if you
Gotcha.
wanted. Yeah, he whips that baby out, and he sort of gets a panicky look, and he kind of does a half crouch, hands out, ready to confront whatever. All right, so we're going to go back inside the cave.
Oh, why do we got to go back to me?
Coog,
Ugh.
make a stamina. You lose 5 fatigue points, and you make a stamina. No. So I want you to make an IQ roll.
To see if
boy.
I'm doing it right.
Is this the right-
13, and I needed a 9.
Failed it by 4.
Oh, wrong hole.
Nope, you actually are sound asleep.
Wrong woman. Oh, okay, that makes
It
sense.
didn't
too.
last long, and it was amazingly intense, and you are out like a light.
All right, that
Okay.
makes.
Drained.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the action outside.
But what happens in the game? We don't need to tell them about real life. They want to know.
So Akhtar, you notice that Nulk pulls his knife out, and he's stopped eye contacting you. He's looking
Right.
for what's going on also, and he pulls his large knife out, big stone knife. What do you do?
I'm gonna be focused on the chief at some point, and since I've got a strong sense of duty for the tribe, and seeing him,
Duty.
Yeah, like
Dear God.
explaining that. That's
Right.
one of your characters. Sort of, it's taken as a disadvantage.
Right.
Is you have a strong sense of duty to the survival of your tribe.
Right.
You're not going to let anything bad happen to the tribe. You would sacrifice yourself.
Any of them?
The
Even-
the well-being of the tribe.
Oh, okay.
If he suspects Nulk is
It's,
something
like, bad.
wrong, and that
Okay.
could possibly be,
I may need to eradicate that problem.
Okay, gotcha.
this would be a fight. All right.
So at this point, I'm gonna kind of advance, seeing that my chief, obviously, maybe the main source of this tribe, is going to.
You don't have your shaman booga booga stick,
Your chipmunk staff.
Damn it! Where is my chipmunk staff?
but you're you could dash inside because you can move. That is 15 feet a second. If you have a movement of 5, which is
Right.
on 5 yards, because in GURPS it's a very American game. 5 yards, roughly little less than 5 meters around, and around is 1 second. So you can dash inside. Probably take 5 seconds to run in, grab your stick, run back out, kind
Right.
of thing. Because you're everybody's unencumbered because you're all basically wearing loincloths. So.
Right. Upon seeing that, I'm definitely going to
Okay,
go
so
with
you-
what I'm most familiar
It's gonna
with.
take a few rounds, but you can
Right.
go get your stick because you know that there's danger.
Right. Yeah.
So potentially.
Gonna leave the chief, huh?
I think
Our
I'm going to
mission?
leave the chief to help the chief.
You're gonna leave him outside with me with a dagger?
You're a great hunter.
Exactly.
To
Human
hunt.
hunter.
Chiefs.
All right. So Akhtar's going to run inside. Are you going to do anything else, or are you just going to run straight to your room, grab your staff, and come back out? Because everything you do is going to prolong the time you're not there.
Right. And I'm kind of stuck between this, like, do I get help, or does my mistrust of this new and improved
Well, let me see what
Nulk
I haven't assigned
make me
you,
hurry?
I haven't assigned you a room yet, so I'm going to see what room everybody's in. So that one's Coog.
Oh yeah, if I'm close to
That
Coog.
one is Nulk, and
You're
that-
not just gonna scream
so
running
actually,
Scream.
Akhtar and Coog are in the same room.
Bunk bed buddies.
Well,
Wow.
he stays
I've
up.
seen a lot.
Yeah, you stay up. You're kept awake many a night by Coog and your other roommates'
Yes.
activities.
So maybe we're not as close.
Still trying to find a leaf for
or
that.
extra close.
But yeah, Nulk, you actually are in a different room.
An herb to clear out your memory of that. Anyways,
So you technically could run in, grab your staff, and then run back out. And then Coog, as he does that, it wakes you up. and you see Akhtar running in, grabbing his staff.
Would it wake me up? I am exhausted.
Well, only because he kicks you as he runs by.
Okay.
you.
There you go. If he chooses to do so.
Which I am, I think.
Okay.
I wouldn't exactly cry for help. It seems like more of a
You've
something
seen
that would
nothing.
be, yeah.
You hear a noise.
Oh,
and you just go
I'm not
run it off
entirely
with
sure of what the danger is, too.
Right.
All I've seen at this point is the chief draw his weapon.
But you hear the drums and you hear the
Right.
and you're assuming the voices, which don't necessarily sound completely human. I mean, but humans can make animal noises.
Right.
But the drums are definitely being done by people. So.
Is there a way or method that we use to kind of sound an alarm? Is there like a
yell
just
loudly?
yell?
How does
Just
how does-
flip the siren.
I was going to ask that with the party starting. How does sound travel within this village or whatever you want to call it?
Very echoey.
It is, okay. So you could pretty much yell from the entrance and everybody within would
Yes,
hear it. Okay,
absolutely.
Gotcha. I was just curious.
No, I don't think I'm gonna do that. No, I'm gonna go in for the staff and go back out. My sense of duty is gonna completely maybe eradicate any common sense I had to raise the alarm.
Okay. And you're not going to bump me, or you are going to still
I am
bump
gonna,
me?
yeah,
Okay.
I am gonna bump him.
All right, so Coog, you're awoken.
Do you say anything?
No, I'm just in a hurry.
Yeah,
I figure that you see me running with the staff in hand, and that you'll follow.
Yeah, I mean, his tribe's going to be butchered in their sleep. He won't warn them or anything.
Well, if we defeat the evil, i.e. the chief, we can get the hell out of here. So.
Okay, so yeah, you are awoken. You are awoken by Akhtar,
Kicking me.
kicking you either on purpose or as he's running by clumsily.
Okay.
And you kind of look up and you see him grab his staff
And run
up
out.
like a panic look on his
Right.
face, or a serious something trouble you sense as he grabs his staff and runs out.
Does anything within me have the urge to follow and help? Because on a Grug IQ test, I could
Oh no,
care less. I'm tired.
that wouldn't be a Grug IQ test. That would be a what would Grug do in that situation test.
What is it, boy? And chase after him.
What is it, little chipmunk?
Because remember, you're not just like the dude.
Yeah, it's also
you're
Grug.
here because there's a
Yeah.
problem, and then
Curiosity would get the better of me, I think.
Okay,
I would grab whatever weapon I'd have next to
your
me.
big club is right there.
Yeah,
grabs
so
his
just grab
wife.
my one, my
it's,
wife.
it's not a huge club. I mean,
Right.
it's a.
So I'll grab my club and then just kind of like walk behind him, but slowly
Okay,
and
well, he's-
tired,
well,
like
he's-
dragging my legs.
Well, he's
'cause I'm
running.
Like,
So.
yeah.
All right, so we're going to give 2 rounds outside before anything. All right. So, Nulk, you're staring at Chief Ruck down there, and, he's got his axe out and he's looking. And just a second after Akhtar runs inside, about 8 people come running out of the, from behind bushes, from behind trees, just kind of running into view from the darkness, from the sparse trees and bushes area, about 100 yards away.
And you probably think Akhtar is just a weenie at this point because he ran off. You don't know
Yep.
why. He
Yeah,
didn't
I'm
say
like-
anything.
Yeah, but and the people they're all shaven. They don't have they've completely shaven heads, bald, but they're covered with paint,
Cannibal.
mostly red and black paint.
Gotcha.
And they're wielding stone spears and stuff like that. And they all look pretty sturdy. They're not like skinny people. They're bigger than you.
Okay.
Wow.
They're bigger than your tribes. Yeah, they're
Humans?
They're Coog size. Yeah, they're
All
they're
human,
humans. But you haven't ever seen this kind of person before.
Okay. I'm just gonna yell to the chief, Ruck, get inside, and just kind of like I'm gonna move towards the door and motion him in. Like, we gotta protect the chief.
There is no door.
The entrance.
The opening.
Opening.
All right, so Ruck, get inside, and you make your way toward the entrance. You say that he kind of turns and looks at you. Several spears are thrown by the charging people. Now they are, like I said, about 100 yards away, so quite chunky spears.
We know
Just
how
the-
these penalties
They
work.
come,
100
they come,
yards.
they come flying. None of them hit him. A couple are within a few feet, but yeah. But as soon as they start thunking on the ground near him and he sees you, he runs back to where you are.
Okay. As he's running, I'm gonna run to one of the spears and pick them up because I'm more proficient with a spear than I am a dagger.
Okay.
So I'm gonna.
Well,
pick up.
it's about 50 feet away. Because remember, he was about 50 feet from the entrance, and you were standing at the entrance.
And how far away are they?
They're 300 feet away.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I can make it.
Get there, get a spear, and get back, and then
Yeah.
they'll be close, but not. They'll close half the distance roughly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the chief stands up there. You kind of run by him as he's coming up to the entrance. You just kind of run by him, and he goes, "Nulk, where you go?"
Weapon. And then I just continue running.
Okay. So you run down there, touch the ground and then run back. You're doing your little sprint drills, suicide drills. Yeah. But yeah, you run down there, grab a spear. Go ahead and roll a dex.
That is 10, and my dex is 13.
Okay, so you actually can grab 3 spears if you'd like.
All right, I will.
So you just kind of like as you're running down there, you see there's sort of 3 that are close together, and you go and you pick all 3 of them up and run back. Okay.
Yeah.
Right as you get back to the entrance, you see Akdar is arriving at the chief at the entrance also, and now he's got his shaman staff in his hand.
Okay, I'm just gonna basically tell him, Chief, safe.
I'm gonna ignore that and just and immediately ask the chief, "Chief, safe?"
All right.
I'm gonna throw my arms up and.
What the hell?
What?
All right.
That's what I just said.
All right. So Chief Ruck looks at you, Akdar. He says, "Strange people coming from woods to attack.
Well, he is smart.
I was gonna say I was gonna ask what they were, but he tells me right off the bat.
We must defend village. Go get Koog." And right as he says that, Koog comes kind of strolling like, "What the hell? What the hell's going on?"
I'm just gonna throw my arms up again. Wow, chopped liver.
All right. So at that point, you guys all, after eye contact is made, and you're all 4 basically standing in the entrance, you turn and look and see that the individuals that had come running out of the woods, there was about 9 of them, 9 or 10 of them that you saw, has grown to about 20.
Oh, dang.
They're all, of various painting configurations on them and stuff. They're all really big and muscly. They're like basically 20 Koogs are standing down there.
20 Grugs even.
Yeah, 20 Grugs. They're big. Basically, it's the difference between a Homo sapien and a Neanderthal. These guys are like Neanderthal. They're about the same height as you, but way broader and more stocky. And they've all got spears and knives and axes, and they're all painted in different configurations of that red and black paint. And we're going to actually see what happens next week.
Good episode.
Party wipe.
We're terrible at caveman-y.